going on, guys? Tony here with Shed Talk. For the season finale, here we are, episode 10. And I brought a guest on that has been asked to come on. She's also bugged to come on. That's okay, but we have my girlfriend, Christina Rennie, here to be the season finale. But as we always start off with our lovely sponsors, thank you, Ace Distributing out of Wrightsville, PA. And thank you, Jokes LLC out of Philadelphia, for everything you guys do for us. It's been a great season, great partnership. I do appreciate everybody that's been involved. I got a lot of thanks to give out today. No, I'm not going to take too much time, but thank my guys, Neil Muro, who's been helping me out with the podcast, as well as my boy Zach Dorman, who's behind the camera at the moment.
Shout out, Zach.
He's been learning how to do the camera stuff and helping us out, so it's been fun. So the reason I have Christina here today, obviously, we've been dating for a little while, and when we first started Shed Talk, Nate and I should say, we had talked about a really cool topic, relationships, and I felt like that was a very popular topic at the time. It's funny, like right after we talked about that, because at the time, both Nate and I were pretty much single, I believe. And yeah, like maybe a month or so later, Christina came into my life, and we've been dating since, and we kind of want to revisit the topic just because I feel like it's important, and it'd be kind of cool to give a perspective from from Christina and myself, who we've been doing a long distance relationship for a while, so kind of touch on that, talk about how we met. For some that may or may not know, we actually met on Hinge. So thank you, Hinge. When I was in Philadelphia one random weekend for a jokes event, actually, is when I matched with Christina, and we are here to this day. And hey, it must have worked. So talk about the perks of that, and maybe some things that we talked about in the last episode. So enough about me. I want to introduce Christina. So tell the people who you are, and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Christina from Glenmore. Good old Glenmore, country town, Chester County, the farm country. I'm a recreational therapist, graduate from Temple, going to University of Pittsburgh next year. Well,
you
not
mean
next
in like
year.
a couple days?
In 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm going in the fall, and I'm going to get my master's and do some assistive technology stuff, so.
Well, for the people that may not know, what is that? Like, what is assistive technology?
So it's basically more of the engineering side of rehab. So working on all the parts, the moving parts and everything.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's going to bring in big bucks. Love that. No. So obviously, we met and we fell in love, and, we have been, doing really well. One thing, we've been, like I said, talking about how we've been in a long-distance relationship. I feel like, in my opinion, it's healthy. What do you define maybe a healthy relationship for people?
Communication. We talked about this from day one.
Yeah.
Especially in long distance. Like, keeping that communication open and regular as much as it's not annoying, I guess.
Yeah, try not to annoy each
Not
other
clingy.
too much, right? But I think it's such an important part of a relationship, is being able to communicate however you're feeling. I mean, that's your partner. You should be able to explain how you're feeling in a way and not be afraid to. When we talked about it the first time, two males talking about relationships, a lot of people might stereotype that as weak in a way. I mean, it's not the case at all. You want to be able to talk with your partner, talk with anybody about, those kind of things. I've preached mental health, and that's part of, I think, a relationship. A healthy relationship is that way you're able to discuss those things without somebody being your therapist. Communication is such an important topic, and it really keeps us going, whether it's, FaceTime, whether it's phone calls after work, or, well, she doesn't like when I do that, but
I gotta listen to Shed Talk podcast on the way home.
You don't lie to yourself. We know you're listening to Chicks in the Office too, which is okay. Great podcast.
Shout out Rhea and Fran.
Yeah, right. So, well, when did you know that you were ready to be in a relationship?
I think I was secure enough in myself. Like, it took me a couple years to like I guess like love myself first, but I kind of always had the confidence, but I was like secure in who I was as a person before I decide to look for anything else. So that took me a little bit though.
I think it takes a lot of people, a lot of different ways to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like loving yourself is very important, and we'll talk about that a little later. But the concept behind it is you can't do it unless you can't love somebody unless you truly care about yourself.
Mhm.
So you have to be confident. You have to instill that confidence in yourself and even on others. I mean, you want to be able to surround yourself with confident people. But when it comes to being ready, I personally I didn't know if I was or not when we started dating, just because I feel like in a way you don't ever know. I don't know. Like you do know. Like I'm ready now. Obviously, we've been doing this for a year and a half now, but in the moment, I truly did not know. I just kind of went with it, and I thought it was a good thing. And
Mhm.
I think you figure it out. Like sometimes it's not a risk, but if somebody truly cares about you, I think you should put forth the effort if interested. In given the same feeling, because in the end, it is a two-way street. A relationship always is.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe what were like, not to get personal before me, but like what kind of struggles were you facing? Maybe in yourself, other partners, other people.
Like, what do you mean?
Oh,
Was your like before I
yeah,
knew I was ready for a relationship?
yeah,
Um, I don't know. Like I was always like I still am like a girl's girl. Like I loved hanging out with my friends and not having to worry about anything else. And so I think that was largely part of it. And a lot of my friends in college didn't have boyfriends or anything, so it was always just us, and I loved that part of college. So I think that was part of it, that I wanted that life and I wanted that lifestyle for a little bit. And just I don't even know if it was like struggles. I wasn't looking at the time. And I
that's
was
fair.
just like not I wasn't ready. I mean, I could have been ready, but I just wasn't interested at the time.
In college is a weird time. I feel like to date
Yeah.
somebody. I mean, that's those 4 years or however long you kind of you figure yourself out, I guess, in those years, because it's your first time. For people that have gone to college or maybe haven't, when you're done with high school, I feel like that's your time to figure yourself out. I mean, that's like independence 101,
Mhm.
especially when you go off to school. I mean, I was an hour and a half away. You were about an hour away from your house, and it's like, yeah, you're still close if you need to go home, do those kind of things. But I was living on my own for hell, I don't know, 75% of the year
Mhm.
at first time in your life. So you're trying to figure that kind of stuff out. And I mean, let's be real. The side of it too is having fun in school, not having to worry about a lot. Because your responsibility should be on yourself in those years. I feel
Mhm.
obviously you want to have good friends and good company, and I definitely had that. But that was one thing. I don't know if that was something that really crossed my mind was dating somebody in those time
Yeah.
frames. But
I was much more into meeting friends and different friends from high school, and I was not into anything else but that for a while.
there are people though that go through it even from high school sweethearts and through college. I had a lot of friends that were dating in college, and I commend people like that. It takes a lot. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of finding yourself as well as kind of balancing all that. There was no way I was doing it. It's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Um, well, what's changed? I guess over the last year or so since we've started dating, just like how you feel about relationships and what maybe you've learned.
Um, I think uh, one time somebody told me that you should feel as good with whoever you end up with as you do with your very best friend. And I laughed about that because my best friends, Magic and Megan, I was like, there's no way I'm going to feel as good as I do with them. Like, I'm not going to find anyone like that. And, but then I did. And I like, within like 6 months of dating you, I was like, oh, they were right. So I feel like that has changed in my like view of it, because I think I was very much like, that's not gonna happen. Like, very much a friends person. Didn't think anyone else would ever come close, but
Yeah, and I can kind of attest to that as well. You want to, I feel like, people that are listening, this is, you want to find somebody that's in your life, not comparable to your best friends. You want your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other to be your best friend as well, because that's what Christina is for me. But I think, you know, you can't compare necessarily, because Christina is very different, not in a bad way, to my friends. Very similar in very good aspects too. We all like to have fun. We were just all at a concert last night, for example, and really enjoyed it. Being able to enjoy that time with you and other people, and that's kind of when I started realizing it myself. Like what I've learned over the last year is, it, you're putting time into somebody. You're putting time into not only yourself, but
mm,
somebody else's life, and learning about them and everything they do and their families, their friends. I mean, the list goes on and on of things that you're doing. But um,
I think too we had a different way because we didn't have mutual friends before.
right,
So like a lot of people have like a mutual friend, so they kind of know a little bit of their background, their friends, and kind of who they are. But we didn't have that at all. So we
no,
were
we had
starting
nothing,
from nothing,
which I
which
think was good
I know it
too.
worked out in our favor. It was so much better that way
Yeah,
because
and
you didn't have any like preconceived like notions about like judging somebody else.
right.
It's basically a clean slate. I didn't know anything.
I think that's a good topic to bring up too. Is I think, I don't want to call it stereotypes, but like a friend introduces a friend, for example. I would introduce somebody to Zach behind the camera, for example, and it's somebody that I know, he knows, she knows somebody that knows him, and there's just a lot of hearsay that comes out of it. Maybe a bad event happened, or something good, but it's, I don't know. You're right. I think the strength of our relationship, really, there was no judgment, there was no conversation about, oh, he does this, that, and the other. I'm not a perfect human, but we all are able and capable of loving another person and being decent human beings, I would hope.
Mm,
And that's kind of where our strength came from, was not having that preconceived
yeah.
notions, like you said, and things like that. But how is obviously we met during COVID. That was a crazy time. Drove to Philly on a random occasion. I worked from her apartment for a few days and just met her, and we had no other way of meeting. Like, how did COVID kind of affect our relationship, maybe in your eyes?
Oh, it made it very hard to find time to do stuff because I was still finishing school, and so I obviously had to do that. You were working from home, so it's not like you couldn't not work on the
Right.
other side. So it made it very hard to do things, but we kind of got better in a rhythm. But also, I feel like it kind of helped too because I didn't have anything else going on, and I kind of like picked my little quarantine bubble of like people around me, and like you were in the bubble, and I couldn't see anyone else anyway. So
Yeah, I think the biggest part of COVID for me. I mean, is for a good amount of time you've been working in assisted living, and obviously older generation, elderly. Working with them, they're obviously higher risk of getting COVID and having worse side effects to it and things like that. So it definitely made things harder.
mm,
But we made it work. And me, I guess, because I'm a people person, I still tried to go do things, and I'd get shit for it. But I mean, I understood at the same time, because you have to keep your job and do what you got to do. You got to make it work. Like, you kind of have to sacrifice, I feel. Not sacrifice, wrong word. Compromise. That is the true word that I should be using in that case, because I didn't think of it as a sacrifice. You're compromising because you're giving your time to that other person. That's time that you can spend however you'd like, but in a relationship, I feel like you make that choice because you love the other person, or
mm,
care about the other person if you're not there yet. So I created a situation where I didn't go out as much, not because I didn't truly necessarily want to. It wasn't that, like, I'm getting too old for that shit, but being able to spend more time with you, and I think that's, with your group, like, you kind of made that bubble. I've had that with my homies, like, all the time. We still do it. Now that I have a house, everybody comes over to hang out because I have space. Zach has space. Like we all kind of back and forth do it. Those things, but yeah, that's definitely COVID definitely affected it. Now it's gotten better, and you're going to school, and my job's a little more flexible too. So we've been able to work it out, and
Mm-hmm.
every other weekend at least, and now you'll have weekends back. So that'll be fun. Um, what effect can social media do? Because this is something Nate and I talked about. Social media, how can that affect a relationship, in your opinion?
Um, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. Like I think you are too. Very like secure in the both of us. So I don't read into anything on social media besides FOMO.
Yeah, she gets
Severe FOMO.
sorry, yeah, but no, I get it. I just there's a lot of people try to like pin social media on not just relationships, on a lot of different parts of life. So I try to keep that kind of stuff out of our life, and like the like negative side of social media where hearsay, he said, she said, keyboard warriors. A lot of people have a lot to say, but I think it's good that we've been able to stay away from that kind of stuff, not have those issues. I feel like if anybody is, I don't think you're with the right person. They don't have that trust in you. They don't have that security around how you feel. You got to be able to feel comfortable with the person you're with, and you know if you're hearing something on social media and allowing it to affect you, or somebody said something about, because I don't know who reaches out to her. She doesn't know who reaches out to me and says things like, if you're really worried about that, I think you're doing it wrong personally. So unless it's true, like red flag, maybe something needs to be said. But either way, touching back on something I think is a good topic is the dating apps, since that's how we met. Um, like, what is your opinion? When did you, I guess, start using dating apps?
Whoa.
Okay.
Please cut that out. Well, dropping the microphone. When did I start using dating apps? Is your question. I was a freshman in college, which I think that was 2016, 2017. So I feel like that's when they were more popular. I didn't know anybody in high school that had them.
Yeah, I don't think I did
It
either at
wasn't
the
really that.
college.
Yeah, it was more of a college thing. I don't think I really did anything on dating apps until my sophomore year. Um, and then like I went on a couple dates that lasted maybe 2-3 weeks, and then I was like, meh, I'm good. And
Yeah.
it was entertaining for a little bit. And then and actually I took like a huge break from it from junior year until spring of my senior year, which is when I met you. Spring of my senior year.
Yeah, I mean, it's me personally. I started same time, college age. I don't think anybody at my high school was using Tinder or anything like that, or whatever you use. Um, but yeah, it's just I think in our generation, we're kind of at that cutoff where yeah, you can meet somebody out at the bar. You can, obviously that's still gonna happen. You can go meet out wherever at an event, a concert, anywhere really, food. It
I
don't
feel like
matter.
it's so weird though, because in this generation, I can't think of going out and somebody like coming up to me. Like I
It's
feel like
not.
that's so
Yeah,
weird. Although that's not that weird. Like
it's
that's
not.
should be more common.
It should be, but I feel like people are just so.
I mean, I get scared. I am a woman, so I think someone's gonna kidnap me. I watch a lot of crime shows.
Fair,
I
fair.
mean,
Yeah,
and if I'm out with like a bunch of girls, and like a guy walks up to you, like you don't know them, so it helps if you meet them on a dating app because you can kind of screen them
yeah,
before you go meet them in person.
yeah. Those things are positives.
Safety's first.
Safety is first. I think we've gotten away from the meeting someone at a bar or meeting somebody out, and that's okay. It's a generational change, and like you said, we can use the dating app in many ways. You kind of see, I mean, you see them as a picture. You see them, for maybe some things they write, like on Hinge, or what a little bit about them, but. you don't get to really truly know the person until you obviously meet them.
Mm.
And that, it took a little while for us too, but technology is a beautiful thing. You have Zoom out there, you have FaceTime. Don't be afraid of long distance. If you can manage it, that's okay. If you can't see each other every day, like if you're not, from the same high school, or you're not from the same state or the same country, hell, do what you want to do. There's a lot of options to it anymore. What apps maybe do you recommend to people?
I did like Hinge the most. I was on Bumble for a little bit. Some of my friends liked that one, but it was too much work. There was a lot of questions and all of that, and I didn't want to do it, so I gave up on that one. I think I was just on Hinge and Tinder for a while, but I didn't even really use Tinder.
Fair.
Yeah.
I used all of them at one point in life, like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. That's probably the only three I ever used. But I would agree, Hinge was a lot more of an easier platform to use. It was just more approachable. You're able to have a little more genuine conversation. There's always that stereotype behind Tinder too, where it's like, oh, it's just for hookups and it's just for those kind of things. But Tinder was fine. Those dating apps are what they are. It's just it's a way to connect with people. And obviously as a male or a female, and you're looking for your significant other, that's one way to do it. You don't have to leave your room. You don't have to do anything like that if you're introverted or extra. You can meet somebody out and still do it that way, but I think dating apps is not a bad route. Don't be too afraid to do that, because, I'm very happy where I'm at. I can't complain. So what advice do you have for people that are looking into online dating or just dating in general?
Oh, man. I just want to talk about catfish.
We can talk about catfish.
I forgot you had this question on here. Don't get catfished. Stay sexy. Don't get murdered.
Okay. That's fair.
That's my advice.
You do have an obsession with catfish, though.
I love catfish. Shout out Neve Shulman.
It is a good show, though. Don't get catfished out there. It's kind of wild. She got me into watching it. It's a good show. Don't get me wrong. We'd sit there and binge it, and there are some absolutely wild people in the world behind a camera. I am beyond shocked at how people. Actually, I shouldn't even say I'm beyond shocked. People are crazy.
Yeah.
But
it's that one guy catfished 300 women.
Yes, that was the most fucked up story I ever saw. That guy was an asshole. He was. I think. I quote me if I'm wrong. He was talking about 300 different girls doing the same thing, getting nudes from them, and then just got caught.
He just kept them.
Yeah, he kept them all. I don't know if I would hope he didn't send them out or anything stupid like that, but yeah, he kept 300 girls nudes or some stupid shit like that. And I'm like,
great show. Would recommend. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, it is a good show though.
All 8 seasons. They're making a 9th right now.
She's watched every one of them at least 3 times. But then you kind of stopped when they went to COVID.
No, I finished that season.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I'm officially done catfish until it starts. The new season comes on.
Yeah, I didn't watch all of them, but I just tag along with her. So yeah.
That's my advice. Don't get fatfished. Put it in there.
That'll stay.
Don't get catfished.
Yeah, know who you're talking to behind a dating app, please. Make sure you do know. Do your screening. Figure it out. It's not hard. So.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
Sure.
Ever heard that?
No.
It's from My Favorite Murder, another podcast I listen to.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've never heard it. That was good.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, as you know, thank you for always being here. Thank you for coming to the shed.
A pleasure.
As if you've never been here before.
I've been here.
Yeah, I've been here a few times.
Mm-hmm.
30 at this point for episode purposes.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Been here a lot.
Yeah. Me as well. So, well, thank you, Christina, for, obviously hopping on the podcast. I know a lot of people were asking you to be a guest, and it was good to have a good conversation around, I think, a good, important topic.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, guys, make sure you guys are happy with yourselves, happy with your life, and give your all to somebody if you are committing to that. I think those things are very important, and that's where I've learned and experienced a lot with her, and continue to get better and better each day. So thank you for stopping in, giving some 2 cents, and letting me grill you a little bit from over here.
Of course.
So
shout out my friends that messaged Tony for the last year to let me on the podcast.
Yeah, it was probably once a week. So you guys got me to cave.
Good friends.
But no, great guest, great person to have here. I want to, obviously talk about her. I'm happy, so the world should know a little bit more about her. So, yeah. Anywho, it's funny. The final shed thought this week.
Final shed thought.
She's been trying to beatbox this entire episode, and I just have to say, she has some skill with it.
Put a graphic right here. The final shed thought.
No. Anyways, so the final shed thought this week. Something
like the rave horn.
Can't even take her serious anymore. But anyways.
You can start over.
No, well, I like this part. We can keep that in.
Oh, God.
So the final shed thought this week, we kind of touched on it already. I've been trying to keep it relatable to what we discussed. So, but I wrote this out prior. So my final shed thought this week is love yourself. My final shed thought this week is love yourself so that you can love others. That's so important, is you have to understand you come first in life. Even in a relationship, you are number one for yourself. I would hope she does the same. I know she does. You have to look out for your well-being. You have to look out for the well-being of others, after that, and especially your partner. But that comes first. You have to be able to love yourself, have confidence, and have faith that you're able to be loved as well. You don't feel like you're ever alone. There are people out there, whether it's a partnership love or a friendship love, it doesn't matter. You are a loved person, but you have to love yourself before you give yourself to anybody. Friends, family, life, anything. Make sure you guys continue to look back, take a step back, and realize that you have to love yourself. So that's my thought this week. We've had our fun. A little bit of a, not completely serious topic, but, I felt like it was good to bring back and with a great person to share it with, since I've been able to share a relationship with you for as long as I have and will continue to. So, yeah, I can't believe it's the end of season 3. Thank you guys again. Thank you for all my followers, supporters, people that have been tuning in. Thank you guys for, always tuning in. It's been a great season. Season 3 has been a little different this time. Doing the whole season solo has been an accomplishment, I feel, and I'm very happy with where things are going. I do want to say I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from Shed Talk for a short time. I do have some cool things coming. Trying to get some things in life figured out. I have my own time that the final Shed Thought, I do have to figure those things out with my own life. Not that I don't love myself, but I have to give more time back to me. But I'm not done. We're not done. We have a lot more to do with Shed Talk, and hopefully by the time season 4 kicks off, we'll have a whole new setup too. So be tuned in for there'll be some videos made in the meantime, but gonna hopefully have my own shed here in the next year, more or less. That's the goal. It doesn't take that long, so that's the plan.
Yeah.
I hope you guys hear this and tune in, and hopefully you enjoyed the first 3 seasons we've had so far. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys. Looking forward to season 4. And as always, we like you, we love you, and we'll see you guys next time here in the shed. We're out.
All the times that you rain on my parade. You know the Justin Bieber song? You
Cut.
should go and love yourself. You want to beatbox? That's all I know.
Beatbox battle right now.
Do you know? Can you do it?
Yes.
I want to hear it.
But I'm not doing
I want to hear it.
No.
Do it.
I won't do it.
Yes, both of you beatbox right now at the same time.
You're nervous, that's why. You know I'm better. You know you're going to lose.
I can't do it. I can't even do it.
He lost by default.
I can't with you.
This is the best guess you've had so far. At least you have bloopers to play. The other ones are so serious. Here, I'm here for my business. I'm not here for any business. I'm here to beatbox.
I am the business.
What's your next question?
So,
Just wasted 5 minutes.
all right. So, what advice do you have maybe for people looking for a relationship, or even actually, let me rephrase that.
Why don't I ask you a question? Why are you asking me the questions?
I mean, you can ask me whatever you like. Go ahead.
How are you? Do you like weather?
I'm doing great. Yes.
That's
The weather today stinks, but yes.
You can go.
You got any more questions?
No.
Nothing?
Just wanted to mess with you.
All right.
Can be serious now. I love.
You having fun?
You're just so serious. It's just so fun to fuck with you. There's a fucking notes thing. Oh, this is so funny to me all of a sudden. You're just so serious.
Why you gotta give me shit?
Sorry. Why you gotta be so serious? Why so serious? Name that movie.
No.
Batman.
Batman. No. Batman.
That was a Joker.
Whatever. So, what advice do you have? All right. 3, 2, 1.
Wiki. Did you get all that in the audio?
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
Wiki.
Okay.
And then it
So-
just goes into, and this is Tony with Jet Talk. And that's the music though. It's not Izzy's overlay. It's Would you like another song? Ain't no mountain high enough. That's been in my head all day for some reason.
I really hope you know I am gonna make this a blooper and post it somewhere.
I don't care.
I'm here for it.
Do you
All
want
right.
another song?
No, I'm good.
Any requests out there? This could be
Yeah.
live. So stack.
No.
I'm a rocket man.
3, 2, 1.
You're no fun.